Without black Latinos and Native Americans. When the Lord says that our kingdom is to come, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
I got the camera bag, I'm the cameraman. If shit getting active, I'ma stand it down. We taking ground, call the ambulance. That shit go. Look. If shit go, look, you best get right, or you'll get, look, you got that, right, that shit go. If you got a problem, we'll handle it. Niggas acting hard, you better stand on it. We on every corner, we stamping it. You better get your life for this camp shit. We ain't playing around, there's no cowards, dog. If niggas charged up, you get powered off. Rude of speech, keep it raw. It ain't my fault that you niggas soft. It ain't my fault that these niggas frauds. It ain't my fault that them niggas rats. If your colors fly, you don't get that shit go. Look. If shit go, look, you best get right, or you'll get, look, you got that. That shit go, look. If shit go, look, you best get right, or you'll get, look, you got that, right, that shit go.
B-Raw, wanna go to war, gotta hop into the van. Tryna cut the scene of something you don't understand. Getting checked from my betterment, better take it like a man. Nigga, how you walk away for camp? If you willing to die, you better be willing to stand. Take a trip around the world, see a bunch of corners held by them UPK niggas. All them UPK niggas go to camp. And I'm on Shamar head hanging out the car window when I pull up straight to the battlefield. And I'ma make sure niggas make it back home. Say, nigga, what you thought? Well, anything moving, I be on. Gotta remind them, we nothing like them niggas that you saw. If you hear back up, that'll be your last time to get out the way. The price to pay before
that shit go.
Nah, for real though. B-Raw.
Look. If shit go, look, you best get right, or you'll get, look, you got that, right. That shit go, look.
Nah, for real though.
Look. If shit go, look, you best get right, or you'll get, look, you got that.
How about swim y'all shot right there? Move that song! Move that song! Move that song! The Father we fear! The Father we fear! Your home son! Your home son!
First in the building. Clap it up. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, One West, 125th Street, New York. The uncommanded teaching since 1969 of the so-called Black Hispanics. Effective true biblical Jews of the Bible. And that I will proceed to devil that the Bible speaks of. This is the One West newscast where we bring out local and international news, DOD, to keep them informed, to keep us understand the earth, how it relates to you, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian. It's a lot on the earth, it's a lot of rumors of wars, that's the Bible. It's a lot of things, and of course, well, come up in when you're ready. I'll be ready. And of course, man, sins continue to be there and reveal himself, reveal his true nature. Give me a one in the chat. I'm Captain Party along with
Officer Thumb. Yeah.
Please give some boss to get a chat. I said something. You get some open up more.
Once again, we back. Bring you all the news. What's going on? It's a lot going on. Understand? In that World War III, people don't understand. That's why this crazy thing happens all around the earth. That so-called blacks. And listen to what was in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, because Commanding General Yohana has trained us and taught us how to break the Bible down and give our people understanding, especially when it's coming to things that's happening in the earth right now. You understand? You reading the article, sir?
Yeah, I just opened it up.
Oh, okay. Right on time then.
Again, this is the Israelite School of UPK, the One West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander and I've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible.
Right.
And that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand? And again, there's a lot going on in the earth. The wars, the rumors of wars, the tariffs. We're going to get into that, the backlash with the tariffs. And it's a lot of things going on the West Bank that's not really on the forefront of the news, but we'll bring you some of that information as well. Of course, the so-called Israeli is Edom also. You know what I'm saying? They wanted the same with their counterparts, you understand, with the rest of the oppressor, you understand. They don't get a pass because of what they claim to be. Their actions and their history speaks for itself.
Right.
This violent beast, this violent, oppressor of the earth, this cancer of the earth. And we see it every day, Matan.
Right.
Anything else?
Yeah, you're right about that, them being a cancer. And the good thing about it is a lot of our people are beginning to open their eyes and understand who the true problem, you understand, that we suffer from, because a lot of us believe that it's us. The problem is with us. But a lot of brothers and sisters are beginning to wake up and understand that the oppressor is the problem. He is the cancer. You understand? He is the terrorist of the earth. He is the unaliver of the earth. You understand? And then we always thought that, we had the highest number in crime rates and things like that, even per capita. We still don't. You understand? We still don't. If you think about it, right? Think about the 3 million people that got unalived in Afghanistan. That was because of the oppressor.
Okay.
Think about the millions of people that got unalived in Iraq, that Iraqi war. You understand? Think about the things that happened in Vietnam, the Vietnam War, how many people got unalived in that? That's the terrorist of the earth. That is the United States. That is our oppressor. You understand? We have never even come close to unaliving, you understand, even amongst ourselves, not unaliving people like that at that rate. We blinked out?
No, we good. We still alive.
Okay.
But
we gotta understand. You understand? And then the thing about it, if you think about it, is if you go into World War I, World War II, look at all those things that have been happening to you understand? That's the oppressor unaliving themselves. You understand? We choose to join them, and then we get caught up in the melee with them. You understand? This is the reason why the Bible tells us, gather yourself together, gather together, O nation not desired. You understand? We are not desired by the oppressor. So we need to just sit back, you understand, and let them do their thing amongst themselves. You understand? Every beast loveth his life. You understand? And every man loveth his kind. We have to love each other. We have to show love and brotherhood to each other and stop showing it to the oppressor. That was a thing. We went to camp this week. You go out there and you tell people, like, we out here to save our people. We out here because we love our people. We tell our people that you are better than the oppressor. And we had a brother to totally get upset. That's how destroyed we are as a people. You understand? We got to be better than that. We are better than that. It was incredible. You understand? I yield, sir.
I sent you a link. So we're going to start here. There is a lot of controversy in the Middle East, but I know a lot of the things that's going on with Iran right now.
Right.
And military forces in the Arabian Sea.
Right.
And with this one, I'll kind of get overshadowed, but we'll get it. Share the screen, all right? So you got that message, The Guardian?
Concert.
I'm gonna share this with the chat real quick.
Yeah, you talking about that blockade they got? Not the blockade, but that military force, that build up that they got over there in the Middle East.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. But in the midst of that, the Israelis are still being Israelis.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Let's get this quick article real quick before we get into more of the top headlines here. If we could.
You come on, concert.
Go ahead.
This is an article from The Guardian. It says the settlers brought the violence, the ethnic cleansing of the West Bank village.
The settlers brought the violence. Just look at that title there.
Yeah.
Don't that sound like the Spaniard?
Listen.
Don't that sound like the British, the so-called British and the so-called European settlers, or
I want to say the Pilgrims.
Don't that sound like the Pilgrim?
Right.
You understand? This is in their nature. This is part of their culture. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Arab ain't Israel, but understand wherever these people go, the Esau goes, they're like a cancer to the earth, man.
Yeah.
This is their way. They're barbarians, man. They're barbarians. Everywhere they go, they want to drop a bomb and bring in their so-called democracy, their so-called freedom by the way of the sword.
Force of the sword.
The settlers. Here we go again. Go ahead. History repeats itself. That's what they say.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says 5 decades in South Jordan Valley. We're ending in a day, and Mahmoud Ishaq struggled to hold back his tears. The 55-year-old had not cried since he was a boy, but as he dismantled the family home and prepared to flee the village where his whole life had played out, he was overwhelmed by grief. It says while Ishaq's children loaded mattresses, a fridge, sacks of flour, and suitcases of clothes into a truck, masked soldiers escorted a teenage Israeli shepherd down the main village road, where he posed for photos on his donkey, flashing a V sign. The ethnic cleansing of Ras and Al-Ojah was underway, and the men and boys who made life untenable for Palestinians here had come to celebrate. That's terrible. That's terrible. Ishaq's home, a community of about 135 families, was the largest and most established of the Boudin village, dotted on hillsides in the part of the Jordan Valley. By the start of this year, it was also the only one left, a campaign intensifying settler violence, arson, mass theft, beatings, intimidation, and destruction of property. Forced out of village after village until their last remaining neighbors in nearby Murat Ajat fled in July. Israeli settlers now have full control of more than 250 square kilometers or 100 square miles of land in this part of the occupied West Bank, where a decade ago only Bedouin herds grazed, said, what's his name? DX, founder of the settlement monitoring Group Karem Navat. They're just out there stealing land.
Oh, this is their nature. This is their nature. This is a part of their culture.
Right.
You understand? They talking about they in it for to catch the so-called terrorists, which they are. You understand? Right. Hamas and Hezbollah, what have you. But why are you taking people's land that don't belong to you?
Right.
That's not Hezbollah's land. That's not Hamas's land. That's
right.
You know, regular old folks, civilians. You know what I mean? But they're greedy bastards. Go ahead.
They had to make up an excuse to tell them something.
Come on.
You know, Palestinians have been forced out of this area, which the international community has earmarked as part of their future state. We were living here peacefully, but they made us into an enemy. The settlers brought the violence. Ishaq said, mountains rising sharply toward white hilltop towns and splashing in the Wadi where his children and grandchildren later played. At night, the clear desert skies are crowded with stars. The Bodine family who live there are descendants of refugees forced out of the Naqab or Negev in what is now Israel. In 1948, poor, isolated, and with little political influence, even within Palestinian society, they are relatively easy targets for settlers.
Yeah, it's not a popular thing to say pray for Gaza no more, right? Or all eyes on Gaza, you know what I'm saying? We distracted by music and music awards and film awards and whatever else is on our timeline, right?
Right.
That's cool. You know, we ain't Gazans or Palestinian or Arabs either, but look at what the devil is doing on the face of the earth. They are the most immoral people, you know, on the face of the earth, the cancer of the earth. No different from the so-called Americans in Europe and the Spaniard and the Portuguese. They just found them a new target. We got some resources and oil. They even been going after their own people in Greenland. What is it, Greenland or Iceland?
Greenland.
In Greenland. You know what I'm saying? Their character speaks for themselves. Speaks for itself. Understand? Donald Trump, along with along with BB, along with Putin, along with all of these so-called leaders.
Right.
They're violent criminals. Just on a larger scale, like a gang. You know what I mean? Anything else, Matan? To add?
Hey, think about a lot of us really, when we listen to or we hear that word terrorist, growing up, especially in America, they always gave us the image that it was the Arabs, it was the you understand, people like that. You understand? So anytime we terrorists, we always think of that. But when you think about is a terrorist is a person or people who terrorize and unalive people. You understand? When you're warring against a people who can't defend themselves. Now, a lot of times we don't look at the United States as a terrorist. But when you look back at the history of the United States, when you look back at slavery, what they're doing over there in Gaza and all of those Middle East countries is exactly what happened to us here. You understand? It actually happened to us before we got it, but this is the proving ground right here. Everything that's going on right now in the Middle East all happened to us.
And all that support for the so-called Palestinians. You understand? It's really selective liberation.
Right.
It's selective liberation when you that's fighting, posting and doing videos for Palestine, you standing on stolen land. You standing on stolen land talking about, you want liberation and freedom for the Palestinians, but meanwhile, you standing on for so long. Meanwhile, North American Indians is right next door to you.
Right.
People act like North American Indians are extinct. That is a goddamn lie.
Let's go, Salaki, sorry if I may, but let's go one step further. The Hispanics are right here. All of that. What was the Alamo? Remember the War of the Alamo? That was the Hispanics trying to take their land back. You understand? We hear a lot of that, and they make the oppressor look like they was a hero. You understand? Or defending something that belongs. Then when the Hispanics were fighting for what was being taken from them, just like the Palestinians are over there fighting for what's being taken from them. Same.
They're calling them settlers. They are invaders.
Right, invaders. Well, they don't use that word colonizers because that's a sharp.
Got a negative.
It got a negative connotation. But if you think about it, though, right? If you think about it, right here, we believe that we have in America, and people really didn't and the city, you never see that happen to the oppressor,
right?
But you do see it happen to us that broke out in those cities and towns, and now they're white cities and towns. You understand?
Or a lake.
Yeah, or a lake, Seneca Village. You understand? It's now Central Park. You understand? Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. You understand? All these black cities and towns were skirted all across the United States. It just so happened to be taken the oppressor. You understand? Think of the land that they are. Listen, it's a negative thing, but this is real Black history. This is what we should be studying on Black history. So we, you know what? I ain't even gonna go too far with that, but
no, so he definitely hasn't learned because they just turned a blind eye to it.
right.
And here we go again. History repeats itself. That's what they say, right? But they always been a beast. They always been a bunch of murderous scum, and I can't. We back live in effect. Like it dropped out for a second. I don't know what that was. I don't know. Maybe it might be Trump. Salagi. Salagi. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what I was saying was he called. If I can get the footage, are we getting this article? He called. I think he called it to CNN.
Right.
Under the name John something, and was like, going off on basically going off. I'm gonna pull the footage while we we get this.
He's so sensitive.
Yeah, he's a child.
Yeah. Hey, listen, what the scriptures say: children are our oppressors, right?
Come on.
I mean, and that's how, and this is the way our oppressor think about everything that they're doing within this government right now. They're doing things and not thinking things through like children do. They're thinking off of emotion. They're not thinking rationally. You understand? They're not thinking things through like, all right, think about this, right? When you go in and you kidnap a president of a sovereign country, and then you come home with that kidnapped person, and then you have nothing else after that. That's an emotional thought. That's an emotional action. They didn't think it through. They didn't say, like, if we kidnap them, where do we go from there? You understand what I'm saying? They just get into their feelings and then move on their feelings. And that's exactly what they did. Think about this, right? We haven't heard anything about Maduro so far. You heard he was supposed to be going up for the hearing, and boom, that was it. They had nothing to charge him on. Nothing at all. And now they in a place where they stuck. Now, every nation that has looked at the United States understands that we can be kidnapped at any time, so we must defend ourselves. And that's what's happening now. This is the reason why World War III has to happen. You understand? And just like you said, the only remedy for this cancer is World War III. This has to happen. You understand? They have to be wiped from the face of the earth.
Well, look, this is what the Lord is cooking up. That's what we gotta recognize and understand.
Right.
The Lord is gonna orchestrate this coming war, and it's coming what's coming to the earth. Like it's like the perfect storm, Tom.
Yeah.
It's the perfect storm. We got an idiot. There's an idiot president and one of the most powerful nations on earth. It's like, I'm just like, we just waiting on him to push the damn button for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what we're gonna get into it now, what's going on in the Arabian Sea, what is it, Arabian Sea or the Mediterranean Sea?
I think you were closer when you said the Arabian Sea. It's
but they look
in the Western Hemisphere though, right?
They over there. They better get down. That's what it's looking like. And I don't think they pump faking this time. You heard?
No.
It don't look like a pump fake. It look like, hey, listen, just ramp it up. You heard?
Listen, Iran is already calling all of those what they call them, proxy nations over there, like Syria and all of them, Lebanon. I mean, the other nations that's with the United States, Saudi Arabia and all of them, and letting them know that as soon as the United States
Can I get this real quick?
Go ahead.
I think hey, y'all, check this out. We got to get this clip real quick. We just talking about Donald Trump causing the C-SPAN.
Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you. John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you've ever had in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester. John
You hear what she said? After she said,
John
"All right."
In Virginia,
She said, "All right, Trump."
right.
At the end.
Hey, listen, right? You can't disguise his voice.
How ridiculous is that? Man?
I mean, listen, man. It says, oh man, but this is the thing too, right? Trump is the perfect president to bring this World War III into existence. You understand? They put the perfect person to make all the dumbest moves to make this thing happen. You understand? All we need to do is sit back and just watch the festivities.
Watch the show.
Let's not get ourselves involved. Let's sit back and let this thing play out.
Right.
You understand? Because listen, America, this American empire, this United States empire is at its end. And whenever you get an animal that's dying and they're rabid, they begin to lash out at everything, even themselves. Listen, this is why they're in conflict with the European Union right now.
Okay.
This is the reason why they're battling with France and Italy and all of these other nations right now, because they know that this empire is coming to an end. All we got to do is sit back and watch the festivities. That's it. You understand?
All we got to do is sit back and see what's going down. That's what's happening.
Yep.
Look, this is a good time to live in. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We watching the greatest show on earth. The Lord is cooking this thing up so beautifully. And we watching the news and we seeing the developments, and we just, the priests and the prophets is like any day, Hakeem.
Right.
Any day. Listen, it can happen this week or it can happen 100 years from now. But It's certainly close. It is certainly close. You know what I mean?
If I may, sir, another thing.
Our liberation too.
If you look at what's going on, especially with the European Union, Germany, France, and all of them are trying to rebuild their industries. America disarmed them and then put them under the thumb. You understand? And now, because they don't have any weapons, they don't have nuclear weapons in the European Union. They have to depend on America. This is the reason why they fear America leaving, because if America leaves them naked, they feel like Russia can step in and destroy them at any time, which Russia can, but that's not Russia's agenda. But now they understand that America was the beast that everyone has always called them. But they found out too late, too little, too late. You understand? And now they're at the beck and call of America, but now they're trying to pull away from America. Mm-hmm. You understand? They're pulling away from America and they're trying to build themselves back up, but America won't let it happen, especially with the tariffs. And then this is the reason why they blew up that pipeline. What was that oil pipeline that came from Russia down?
It's like a year ago, right? I don't know what you're talking about.
They blew that pipeline up. America blew that pipeline up so that the European Union would be dependent on America. And now they sat there and they knew that America was going to do it, and they helped America do it, thinking they were doing something to Russia, but they were only chopping off their own foot. And now they understand that they made a big mistake. And now they're also, a few of them are thinking about going back and speaking to Russia again. You understand? And it's crazy because Russia doesn't trust them. So this is an in-house fighting. This is a family quarrel, and we just need to sit back and not be involved in it. Let it happen.
100%. And again, it's the perfect storm.
Yeah, perfect storm.
It's the perfect storm. And these tariffs that we better get back into is part of that, because he's causing quarrels with his own so-called allies.
Right.
Canada, how you gonna come up against Canada and Denmark? Like all these these alliances was built over several decades.
Right.
And you come in and you want to be the big bad man in charge. Like, you are a child. But am I upset about it? No. Because these are the things that must happen. This idiot thinks everybody should be like, really black people should be rejoicing because our liberation is near.
Yeah.
And America is crumbling under its own tutelage, all of his own actions.
Right.
How dumb can you be? They talking about I'm the president of he said I ended this many wars. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. The international turmoil, it just is. If you're following the news and you're staying, keeping your ear to the cloud, it's like, yo, what in the world is happening? I mean, we know in the truth,
right, that
this is the end of the world as we know it, or the end of this age in society, and the new society under crisis coming very soon. So
I think, you know what, Salak, if I may,
please,
and I think that's a misnomer too, right? When we hear this is the end of the world, we believe that this planet is about to be destroyed and about to explode, and nothing's going to be left.
Maybe I should make it clear.
Yeah, no, but you did it because you said the age of society, right? And that's another thing too. When we speaking of the end of the world, we talking about the age of society. We talking about the rulership, the people that are ruling now. These are the people that it's the end for. These are the people that are going down. But what we always have to remember that when one empire ends, another empire starts or begins. When one falls, another one rises. You understand? And we have to be there when it's time for this new empire to rise. You understand? Christ returns and destroys our enemies. And that's what we're watching right now, is we're watching our enemies being destroyed.
Right.
Our enemies are being destroyed from the inside out. Our enemies are destroying themselves. What was the scripture where the heathens would they was I want to say discombobulated, but they started killing each other. What was the war where Israel was sitting out there watching the?
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
It's somewhere in it, but we sitting there watching our enemies destroy themselves. Basically, you understand what I'm saying? So all we got to do is just sit back and be patient. Listen, it says this is the faith and the patience of the saints. All we got to do is sit back and let the Most High do his thing. You understand? And that's what we're watching right now. You understand? And we think when we see things happen, especially when we talk about wars, and you talk about World War I and World War II, because we weren't there, when we hear the stories, it sounds like it just happened. But those wars took time. Everything takes time. Now all we have to do is
it's cinematic too.
Yeah.
We watch. If I could have been done. I'm watching this news. You seeing it too, of course. And the build up. It's like it used to be like every other month something to pop up, but now it's like every week. It is like every couple of days something in the news. More talks with we're gonna get in that in our last story, but more talks with Iran and then the Denmark situation, then Greenland, and then Venezuela, then the terrorists, then China doing something. And then what's the name? North Korea helping Russia. It's like back to back to back.
Right.
What the hell is going on in the earth? It's like, it's the perfect storm. And the Israelite School of UPK been bringing this out since the 60s. Yeah. And everybody was like, no, the Soviet Union's done. Not Europe, but Russia is the Soviet Union. Okay.
Right.
And it's back, and there's a tension. It may not seem like it is, but it is. Russia got allies. America has so-called allies. China is, partnering up with Russia, along with North Korea. We're talking about extraordinary military might coming up against each other, coming up against America, coming up against America's allies. And then Donald Trump and America is so goddamn gullible that the Israelis then drug them further into a pit, and it's going to bring them to the doorfront of World War III. Your so-called brothers, Amalek, because of their greed for oil and money and power.
Yeah. Salaki, if I may, sir. If you think about it, right? Let's go back to 1948.
Let's go.
Let's go back to when America began their own destruction in creating the state of Israel.
Come on.
They created the entity, the very entity that's destroying America today is the very entity that they created in 1948. They talked about this the other day, that on that Epstein Island, they had 2 Mossad agents every day at that Epstein Island, right? Now think about this. Epstein himself was a so-called Jew, a Jewish man. You understand what I'm saying? And what they did from that time, from 1948, they set themselves up, setting that state of Israel up as Israel began to set them up. Mossad is the
like the CIA or
the CIA
of the
Israel, of the Israelis. Let's say that. Of the Israelis. They are the CIA of the Israelis. And he said every day on that Epstein Island, just to get people locked in and get what do they hold?
It's like a blackmail scheme.
Blackmail cards against all of those people. That's why a lot of those people don't want those Epstein files showed.
They're protecting them. They're protecting sexual predators.
Yeah.
They're protecting pedophiles. They're protecting sexual deviants, pedophiles, child rapists,
right?
Unalivers.
Yeah, they said they was unaliving on that island too. So it's crazy. And then we think about now. So
Victims as young as babies.
Listen, Salakia, sir, if I may, think about all of the missing babies from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, especially in the 70s.
Come on.
You understand? Think about all the missing children that came up in the 70s. Think about when we talked about, and I remember coming into the truth and Commanding General Yohana talking about over 50,000 sisters missing in DC alone. You understand? Think about all of the sisters that was missing off of the reservations that we talk about constantly. Think about all of the broken families of the Hispanics coming across the border that got separated, and the sisters that's missing from that. You understand what I'm saying? And now you understand countless children. And now you hold up. Think of that's another hit right there. Think about the children, the 1,500 Hispanic children that's still missing today.
And look, the stories are going to come out about the
God.
The allegations will come out, just like the allegations of the U.S. Army, the Marines, the Navy, all the grape that goes on, and the horrific acts that these so-called men of valor, men of honor, a bunch of goddamn rapists and unalivers and these these scumbags of ICE agents are no different than your standard police officer, than your standard U.S. military person. Criminals. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, if I may, they had a sister came on Facebook and was telling other sisters not to go into the military service.
Come on.
Because of what they're doing to females in the military service, and how they exploit them in military service and get away with it. Even when it's reported, they come down even harder on the sisters that are reporting. So much so that when things happen to them in military service, they don't even report it.
Damn.
The sister said she was in there and things were happening, and she thanked God that she got out with her life. And she was telling other sisters, do not go into the United States military service. We've been saying that. Listen, I know since I've been in the truth, I've been hearing Commanding General Yohana say that off the button for the sisters. I know he's told us we shouldn't join it, but he said it explicitly for the sisters, because and I actually know 3 sisters that was in the United States service in what was that Afghan war in the 90s. That was Afghan, right? Iraqi war. In the 90s, Iraqi war in the 90s. That's when they went over and destroyed Iraq in the 90s. She was in that, and things happened to her. You understand? And 2 other sisters that was in there. You understand? We gotta start taking heed when we hear these when we get these signs and these red flags. And that's one thing about us, because we've been in America so long, we begin to ignore the red flags and the things that we hear. You understand? Instead of investigating. You understand? And we know a lot of people that have been through it, and we continue to ignore the signs and the flags and things like that.
Listen, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button. Hey, look, we're gonna get some more on this.
You want that article?
That article, because
we on the tariffs now. This is another article from The Guardian. This is the Trump tariffs. U.S. tariff policy hasn't changed despite Supreme Court ruling, trade chief says. Top U.S. trade negotiator Jamieson Greer insisted on Sunday that the Trump administration was set to persist with its tariff policies 2 days after the Supreme Court declared many of Donald Trump's tariffs illegal.
Come on now. Look at what's going on. You got a criminal in office, and then he want to come back and impose more tariffs and all this other stuff.
Right.
Where's the accountability? Where's the professionalism? You're dealing with the perfect storm. Go ahead.
The ruling issued on Friday by the highest U.S. court was a sharp rebuke to the Republican president that toppled a key pillar of his aggressive economic agenda, even as it prompted Trump to announce a new global tariff using different statutes, albeit temporary. The reality is we want to maintain the policies we have as much continuity as possible, make sure that businesses understand this is the direction we've been going. We're going to continue going this way, Greer told the ABC News Sunday politics show this week.
And if I could, the people he hurt, the people that he, swore to serve.
Right.
This ain't hurt companies or, the people that's importing and importing or what have you. This hurt the people that's paying for the product. That's what the cost got to aid up at. And also this, Trump, affiliates are going to profit from what America has to pay back.
Right.
His affiliates, like rich people just getting richer, and we're paying for it. There's not going to be no refund to the American public.
Nope.
There's going to be a refund to already rich people. You see how that works? He just continues to help his rich friends and protect his sexual deviant friends, pedophiles, PDFs, or what have you.
Yeah.
This is who you're dealing with. And then not only that, he's a sexual deviant. He's a child rapist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what you have in office. And then not only that, the arrogance to come back after losing that and oppose more tariffs that's going to affect the American people and just continue to be a tyrant. Like you're a child that can't the unprofessionalism at its highest. One, you want to bully the earth, and you're driving the earth further and further into World War III, which is the perfect storm. Is what I say. Like, I thought this presidency, Mathon, was going to prolong it because how he appeared with Putin and how he appeared with what's the North Korea?
Yeah, Kim Jong.
Kim Young, whatever his name is. And other world leaders will have you. It appeared like, okay, I needed somebody that's going to ramp this up. But meanwhile, he ramping it up with them and his allies. Right. Come on, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Mathon. It's looking like the perfect storm to me. Right. Come on, let's get some more.
The ABC host Martha Raddatz asked Greer about the government persistence despite the unpopularity of the policy, which the public, citing an ABC Washington Post ISUPK poll that shows 64% of those surveyed in the U.S. disapprove of tariff as an economic strategy. Listen, Salaki, if I may,
please.
But think about this right now. We talk about Trump having the mindset of a child, but let's talk about the people who are under him and around him, right? That are giving him advice. As people that are giving him advice, you want him to keep the people that are in your camp satisfied, but he's even tearing apart the people in his camp, and the people that are surrounding him and that's giving him all the advice are not even giving him sound advice that's going to keep his camp together. The camp is breaking up. Listen, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene is out. She backed away and out. That was one of his staunch supporters. When you start losing your side, the people who really got you there, the people who really supported and rallied people around you, when you begin to lose those people, that's when you know this is crumbling. This thing is falling apart right 100%. Here. And then how can't you know that when you set a tariff on another country, the imports or the things that come in from those countries only get raised, the prices get raised by the seller, and we the consumer are the ones who feel the tariff. God. The other country doesn't feel the tariff.
Right. And listen, Trump and his team knows that, but it's what was being portrayed on the news is a bunch of propaganda.
Right.
That's what we gotta look past. You know what I mean?
And that's why you see all the prices and everything going up on everything.
100%.
You understand? That's why you see, a bag of oranges at $15 now. You understand? They talked about eggs, $8 for eggs now. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of things that you see going up and prices are going up on everything. A loaf of bread, $3, $4 now.
Yeah.
Man.
It used to be $1. Just $1. I mean, not even $1 for
right.
Right.
Yep. And look at what's going on, and these things are happening in the earth because of the United States, because of the decision making. You understand? And when you sit back and you start looking and analyzing, just like you just said this earlier, the people, or did you say that earlier about the people the United States offered to send medical help to a country, and the country turned the United States down, and they told the country told the United States, they said, we got free health care. You charge for health care. That wasn't you. That was listening to that on the news coming in. You understand what I'm saying? You got a lot of what we think are third world countries or countries that are below us that have free health care. We don't know anything about free health care.
You don't know anything about anything free, hardly.
Nothing free. There's nothing free in America. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what, and I have to say, until I came into the UPK, I didn't understand it. You understand what I'm saying? I said, how can that country have free health care and we don't? And
you're the most powerful, richest country. Just a bunch of corruptness and extortionists.
When you understand that side, then you begin to understand. Think about Venezuela. Think about Puerto Rico. Was that not Puerto Rico, but Cuba. Free healthcare in Cuba. And this is a third world country.
And that has an embargo. They can't get
anything.
They couldn't get imports for several decades.
Right. They got free healthcare. How does that make us look as a country? Then you have to start thinking, this is something that has been pushed on us as children. We always believe we were the greatest in everything. As you get older and you start looking at the world and you start to say, well, damn, how do they have free health? Because that's one thing I never understood until you start understanding the intricacies of capitalism. Capitalism means that this country is not being run by the people. Capitalism means this country is being run by the top 1%.
Corporations, billionaires.
Yep. And Elon Musk and who's that? What's that? Elon Musk and
Mark Zuckerberg,
Facebook,
and what's the one that do Amazon?
I know you're talking about Bezos. Jeff Bezos. You understand? All of these are the people who make decisions while they sitting drinking their lattes and make a phone call to Trump and say, this is what we need. Think about Elon Musk sitting in there in the office with Trump, making decisions. This is a South African, so-called, right?
Remember when he he was doing sales pitches for him? He had the Teslas out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me I haven't drove in so many years.
Right.
Oh, this is so nice.
Right.
He was like a little yes man for them. Like he was like their little puppet.
He got him demonstrating.
You know what I'm saying? He got this billionaire. Of course, he trumps him in the billions.
Right.
He up there promoting his product because his sales is down because of his office.
Right. Yep.
Y'all saw who was really in charge. The money's in charge.
Money is in charge.
You know what I'm saying? And look, see how he was acting when he was sitting with the Saudi Arabians? Money's in charge. He only care about money and power and gain.
Right.
Money, power, gain, and showing his military dominance that he's exploiting it. Like he's gonna get so many people are going to lose their lives. So many families are going to be distraught because of his arrogance. If not already, you understand? So
do not let your children join that military service. You have the choice. If you have a chance, don't let them join that military service. It's the worst thing that could ever happen to your child, especially when you have so many brothers and sisters that come home destroyed. Even the ones that survive, they come home destroyed and distraught. You understand? How many times have you seen old man in a wheelchair with the United States flag and a veteran hat on with nothing. Anybody that fights for your country, they should never have to want for anything. They have ever went into war. They should never have to want for anything. But we see this often all over America.
100%.
You know, homeless. How can you even have a category called homeless veterans?
Right.
How can you have a category? I have never seen that happen in any country but America.
It's unheard of.
Unheard of.
Well, look, can we get this last article because it is past 7.
Come on, sir.
It is past 7. So let's get this last article. I send it to you already. I'm gonna drop the terrorists here.
The nuclear talks to AP.
God, that's the big story right there.
Okay.
Y'all listen to this real good here. Okay, we good. Got it up.
Okay. This next article is by Associated Press. It says next U.S.-Iran nuclear talks are Thursday in Geneva as Washington awaits proposed deal from Tehran.
If I could, there's rumors that America's going to strike first and strike soon. You know what I'm saying? That's the rumors on the internet. We'll see if it makes it to Thursday, but if not, most time first. You know, to be honest with you, because it's going to be all out mayhem. You know, Iran stands with an attack from the United States is, you know, or an attack from the Israelis. It's one and the same. They're one. So an attack on Iran means, listen, Israel is going to get hit with supersonic ballistic missiles.
Right.
An attack from the U.S. means, you know, they're going to be shooting them supersonic ballistic missiles into Israel and or to them aircraft carriers.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Yeah.
I don't see a negotiation. The negotiation has to be so strategic. Like the Israelis got to be involved because they got to make sure they back down and scale down on their long range missiles and their fighter jets. I mean, everything got to get scaled back. You know what I mean? I don't see the Israelis backing down in no way, shape, and form, or the Americans.
Right.
I mean, goddamn it, they got the whole fleet in the seas. So I don't think they're going to make it till Thursday. We'll see what happens. But
well, Salaki, if I may, sir, the United States footprint is once they get there to Geneva, then that's when the attack is going to happen. That's the United States footprint. That's what they do. You understand? Every time they attack a nation, it's always when the attacks happen. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see
how this news develops, but it's gonna be an interesting week up until Thursday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe if it does go down, maybe we'll do a live update.
Yeah.
Remotely, or we'll come to school. I'll come to the school for sure. If it ain't tomorrow, you come tomorrow.
When is the coming concert?
If it comes tomorrow, we'll do a live update tomorrow at the school. You know what I'm saying?
Coming concert.
If not, then, you know, we'll probably do something remotely. If not, you know, we'll see what happens. But this is what we this is what's going down. I mean, this is the reality of the situation here.
Right.
Go ahead.
Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The United States and Iran will hold their next round of nuclear talks Thursday in Geneva. A facilitator said Sunday, as the Islamic Republic faces both the threat of a U.S. military strike and new protests at home. Oman Foreign Minister Badr al-Basadi confirmed the talks. Omar previously hosted the indirect talks on the Islamic Republic nuclear program and facilitated the latest rounds in Geneva last week. There was no immediate comment from the Trump administration, which has built up the largest U.S. military presence in the Middle East in decades as it pushes its longtime adversary for concessions on its nuclear program and more.
Well, man, the bombs over Baghdad, right?
Right.
That's what Outkast said, right? They
Right.
there's something happening.
Yeah.
Something is happening. Something going down here. Go ahead, you know?
Salaki, if I may though, they said that they had to back a lot of that stuff off because of the range of the Iranian missiles. And because the range of their missiles, by how far they backed up, they said they can only really bomb on the beaches of Iran. So they really can't even bomb in Tehran or anything like that. But the first bomb that comes off from one of those neighboring countries like Saudi Arabia, you understand, or the Arab Emirates, they said they're going to take it out. They're going to take everything out, including Israel. You understand? Let's see. There was no immediate comment. Okay, I read that. Shortly before Oman's announcement, Iran's top diplomat, Abbas Araghchi, told CBS in an interview that he expected to meet U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff in Geneva on Thursday, and said a good chance remained for a diplomatic solution on the nuclear issue. Said a good chance. Washington awaits a proposed deal that Araghchi has said would be ready to share within days, and the foreign minister told CBS that Iran was still working on the draft proposal.
Mm-hmm. Like it's so close, man. It's a beautiful thing. Like because we've been oppressed and under the foot of this oppressor for so long, to see, all of this international turmoil come down so rapidly and so, such a fast pace in these end times.
Right.
It's a beautiful sight, because it's like we close. Like our people ain't gotta be under this foot no more soon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that transition of power, under Christ it's gonna be violent, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be violent, and that's what the earth need. The earth need that reset button. You heard?
Yeah, and that's what that's gonna be. The World War III gonna be the reset button, but this is gonna be the last reset button.
Mm-hmm.
You understand it? And if we think about it, America is using the same playbook that it used from World War I and World War II. The thing is America steps up and causes all the confusion, then steps to the back of the line, lets everybody else fight it out. But this time it's going to be a little different.
They're going to have to put the boots on the ground.
They're going to have to put the boots on the ground. And then now what America did that they have never done before was almost alienated themselves from their own allies. And that's the difference right there. And that's the place where America has really faltered. You understand? And not only that, if you think about it, America is the only country that has never been bombed by another country. And I'm speaking after that what was that, American-British War, where the British came?
The British are coming. The British are coming.
Right. That. Other than that, America has never been attacked by another country. And we talking about America mainland. We're not talking about Hawaii or, you understand, Alaska or all of those other countries that they got plugged around that they own. You understand? We're talking about America's mainland has never been attacked. You understand? And this is where it's about to end. Because now America's allies are looking at America out of the corner of their eyes, because they understand that, you know what, America does this all the time. America starts the war, and then America steps back, just like that Ukraine war. That was the start of America. America started that Ukraine war, and now they're pushing back and pushing the European Union up front for Russia to attack the European Union or all these other nations. And what happens?
Yeah, they instigated like hell. Yeah. They instigated. Yeah. Can I add to that real quick? They instigated like hell, doing them joint forces, and we talking about like a decade, maybe a decade plus prior to the and then Russia was like, yo, this is my territory. What in the hell is y'all doing? And they kept like, we don't know it because of the propaganda and the media doesn't do its proper job, but they was on it like, hey, yo, America, chill. What's the not the United Nations, but NATO, chill.
Yeah.
Like this is my territory. Like imagine, kind of like what the Soviet Union was trying to do with Cuba. You know what I'm saying? And then America was like, no, we cutting everything off, but this is more extreme measures had to be taken here.
Yep.
So, you know, just to elaborate a little bit more. So
like that North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that's NATO. And America has stepped back from NATO and left NATO butt naked up the front. NATO does not have the weapons. They don't have the weapons capability. America made NATO dependent on them. And then they just stepped out of the way. And that's a way that America has always operated. This is the reason why in World War I, all of the nations was destroyed and everybody had bombs on their soil but America. That's how America created the League of Nations after World War I. America did the same thing after World War II. That's how they created the United Nations. You understand? But because they gave too many nations power in the League of Nations, they stepped away from that, and then they took total control in the United Nations. This is the reason why no one can veto anything that America does in the United Nations. But now everybody's looking sideways at the United Nations, so America pulls back. And what did they create now?
The Board of Peace.
The Board of Peace.
And look, they had the, if I could, they had the cats from the UN,
right?
European nations, right? They said they was just in attendance. They wasn't messing with it.
Right.
He trying to create his own United Nations or his own NATO, his own new thing.
And then
it's crazy.
$1 billion.
Yeah, he's
$1 billion to get in.
He's ridiculous, bro.
But it's about money.
Yeah, we talking about the mainland. They said the person said Pearl Harbor. We talking about the mainland.
Not that's why we said mainland, not Hawaii. You understand? We understand.
And this is outside. This is outside of 9/11 and those terrorist attacks.
Right.
We're talking about like the straight up country, like a straight up powerful country coming in, you know, boots on the ground type, you know, on the mainland.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what we was referring to. But you know, good point though. We get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's about to be all out. It's about to be all out. Who knows what the mother nations got cooking up, you know, the sleeper cells and what have you.
Yeah.
Because you know what they say, the border's been open. That's what they say.
Yeah. But we got to watch out for sleeper cells here too, because we got all kinds of nations of people.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about here. I'm talking about here in the so-called United States or what have you. You know, Donald Trump then cooked up a lot of mess here. And it's for our liberation, so I ain't sweating it too much. I ain't even sweating too much. Listen, whatever happens, let it happen. I'm like, yo, why y'all pump faking? That's what I'm looking at. A bunch of pump fakers. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to carry it there. Mm-hmm. Let the carrier, you know, it's a lot here.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
When Trump got nicked in the ear, right? Wasn't that supposedly supposed to be by a young 21-year-old kid?
Yes.
So wasn't that this thing that they unalived this dude in Mar-a-Lago? Wasn't he a 21-year-old kid too?
I'm not too familiar.
The one that just got unalived in Mar-a-Lago either yesterday or the day before.
It was a young man, right?
Yeah. I believe he was 21 too. What's with all these young dudes? Well, we understand.
Oh yeah, he tried to break in, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they unalived him.
Hey man, come on.
Understand? Listen, we know who the terrorist really is. Mm-hmm. We just trying to get y'all to understand. You understand? Watch your back. You understand? Yeah. When they around, you need to clutch your purse when they around. Right. If you're a woman, you know what I mean? Put your hand on your wallet when they around, you know what I mean? Because they are the terrorists of the earth.
100%.
100%. You understand what I'm saying? And we get too comfortable when we were young, we used to always say, "Man, about is the only move around where
County.
white people live at. I want to live in the county where
County.
white people live at."
I don't
Understand?
know. That's a Baltimore.
Not understanding that it's more dangerous with them, and this is the reason why we have to start showing our own people love. We show so much love to the oppressor that we don't have enough love to pass to our brothers and sisters.
I know.
You understand? So why
If
not
I
take
could.
that love?
That's why Rice's Town and Owings Mills and Rhino's Town
Hey, listen.
is all flooded with us now.
Yep.
Now they said what the scriptures say: the city and the field. You're not going to escape oppression.
You can't.
You're not going to escape oppression. You think you done made it because you didn't think you thought you got a deal because you in Rice's Town, Maryland. Now you're getting chased down by a different cop.
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
I remember when my cousins and them moved out into Columbia in the 70s.
Right.
And my aunt's husband used to always say, "We're the only black family out there." Like his nose was in the air.
Yeah.
He was better than us. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're the only black family out there.
Columbia is terrible now.
Yeah, they destroying black.
Yeah, they cut. Yeah, it seem all because it ain't townhomes and what have you.
Right.
So-called projects. It's terrible. It's all types of illnesses and drugs and everything like that out there, man. It's just like curse, bro. But look, hey, I think that's it for the day. Yeah, a lengthy class too.
Yeah.
But the water for joining us is the One West News Desk. I'm your host, Cap Saparia, along with
Officer Matham Shikaria.
I'm saying this is the ISUPK under Commander in Hana. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called blacks, Hispanics are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand?
That's right.
And so we be back here Monday. Don't worry. With more news, we'll keep you plugged in with everything that's going on the earth and how it pertains to you, black man. What's going on the earth right now? It's leading to our liberation.
Right.
And it's all biblical, man. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe. Make sure you watch all the shows. Across the Line Truth, The Hidden Truth Revealed, Black Watch, American Watch. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned in, stay locked in, and continue to be informed and abreast of what's going on around you and how it pertains to us and our liberation. Matham, any closing remarks?
I sir, think you said it all.
No, sir. With that, shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.
He parted the Red Sea, and the entire nation of Israel walked out of the slavery.
The ISUPK presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.